Yo, what's poppin', guys? Some more Mermail action for y'alls. Gonna start off with a deep sea minstrel. We're gonna try to look at their hand. We're gonna pitch our dragoons, and then we're going to call by on their Lancia here. We want to see what they have. Maybe rip something like an imperm that could be potentially an issue because we can't call by it, so might as well hit the Lancia here. So we're gonna have a look at their hand here, and we see it's a Star Ryziel, an X Ryziel, Ash Blossom, and Veiler. So what we have to do here is we have to hit the Ash Blossom here, since on their next chain we're going to be resolving Dragoons, and if they Ash it, we lose instantly. So we can still play through the Veiler though, funnily enough, because we did open a water monster as well. So they're going to Veilers, of course. They kind of have to, but we can just send the Shadow Squad, pitch our water here for the Abyss Pike, and now normally we would go for our Coelacanth, but we already had to discard them earlier on. But we just essentially go into the normal combo here. And what's really cool about the water that we opened being the Coelacanth is that when we go ahead and make our rank 7 here, the yellow one, Abyss Trite, it'll actually target level 7 or lower. So we can just summon out the Coelacanth here anyways. It's going to go straight into a Kraken. Good for the Adrian. I just want to keep removing bodies that they have off the board, so they can never go into a rank 4. And now put back a Dragoons here. Grab the spell. And we're going to go into the Monoceros. And now because this is revived, we actually get to bring out a Neptibus, which will be our target for Virtue Stream here. Alright, so we know they have Star X Ash. We have targeting protection on our 3 boss monsters, a pop to let us banish a dude, Cheng-Ying, and we have Icarus attack, I guess. So a ton of disruptions here. They're going to go ahead, activate the X Ryziel, and they can only negate Neptibus because the other ones are all targeting protected. I'm going to go ahead and pop both of these bodies. And then when they summon out the ice for the node, we're going to go ahead and pop another body. And then we're going to delete this guy as well. And they just can't play anymore. Alright, I skipped their turn. They're on Sword Soul Ryuge. So they have a Varudras for a negate and a pop. They have the Cheng-Ying for a monster negate. They have the Clearing Synchro Dragon, which will negate a level 5 or higher monster on the field, and a monster effect that targets a level 5 or higher monster on the field. There's also some protection somewhere. I think, not exactly sure. And they might have non-engine as well, right? It's 3 unknown cards. So we're going to go ahead and Desires. We're just going to get Ashed. We don't lose anything of too much value, but I still want to get the draws. So we're going to go ahead with the Called By here. See if this will grab another negate as well. But they decide not to. So we're going to draw into Nib Small World. That's kind of depressing. At least we have to get rid of the Nib. Through Veiler into Pankratops, a great board breaker. Also a great bridge. Here we're using it at the end. So he's going to opt to negate this right off the bat. So I'm just going to fire it off without going into battle phase. This is a misplay. They should have waited for me to go into battle phase. Alright, and here they use the effect when a level 5 or higher monster activates this effect. You can get the activation and destroy it. They can still protect level 5 or higher. So note that I am intentionally targeting a monster without a level here. So we're going to go ahead and negate this. Removes your monster negate. They're letting Deep Sea Diva resolve, which is a massive misplay on their part. Call by on Dragoons, however, is a fairly big issue. But we can still play through it. Kind of fine. Go ahead and get a Poseidra here. And I'm going to use both effects on this because I know he's going to negate one of them. Doesn't really matter which one resolves, to be honest. And I'm targeting this guy because I just want to, like, twice because I want to get rid of him. And the last one, I don't want it to get negated by the Clear Wing, so we're targeting a guy without a level once again. So he's going to go through and pop my guys here. Well, I'm totally fine with that. We get out the Abyss Pike. And essentially I have to make sure I just don't target their guys, right? Grab the Coelacanth. And since we have another small world left over as a discard, thankfully our call by went through on the Ash. We're just going to start swarming the field, go into a Changing here, and now we could use our 7s to actually bring back the Coelacanth, because it's funny, before we go into a Poseidon Abyss. And we're just going to bounce everybody, and they lose. GG. In case we were wondering why he couldn't negate with the Clearing Synchro Dragon to protect, it's once per turn when a monster effect is activated that targets one level 5 or higher monster on the field and no other cards. And since I targeted 3, you can't actually protect with this. Alright, here we're going to be playing against Ryziel going second, and I do open Fulos and then draw into a Maxi as well. Both are going to resolve, so I get a ton of draws, but this deck still puts up a ton of disruptions, and I still want to show how I can play through them since we don't run board breakers and we're just using our engine to actually crack the field. And a lot of decks simply don't have the amount of pushes or the board breaking power that Mermail does. So I really want to show this off. I think a lot of the merit of this deck is that you can still just crack the boards with your engine. So we draw into another brick here. We have our Coelacanth, which is kind of not that good. Lancia is also dead. This is another brick for the Coelacanth. So our hand quality isn't too good. We have some conflicting normal summons here. Shadow Squad is pretty nice to have. Here's another free summon, another special summon. We can Small World, and remember we have the Dominus Impulse that we can still use on our turn to stop some stuff here. So if we're looking at the disruptions, they have 3 off the detonator. This gives them a 4th, and then there's like 5 and 6 over here, and potentially oh, they also have the aggregator. So it's like 6, 7 disruptions. Haha, I said the beam, guys. It's hilarious. So please like, comment, subscribe, please. I need it. All right, so we're gonna lead with the Neptibus. It's a better normal summon. And we also get ashed, so they actually have 8 disruptions potentially, which is kind of crazy. I'm gonna go ahead, pop my guys here. Dragoon still gets to resolve though. I'm just hoping this doesn't screw me over at some point. Again, going for our Pancratops as a board breaker. He does have a protection effect on this, but it still eats some material at least. And we didn't have to go through a battle phase. Finally get rid of it. He's negating it, which doesn't really matter. And here we're going to use our Impulse on the Flash, prevent him from getting back the detonator for even more pops. Now we can go ahead and grab a 7. We just really want to discard this so we can summon out the Abyss Pike. Say goodbye to the Coelacanth for now. Adrian gets to summon itself. This is how we get to a 7. That'll bring back the Coelacanth. We'll pitch the Virtue Stream since we're going for lethal. We don't need traps here. Now we just get to bounce their entire board. And it's going to boost us back up to a bunch of attack. And I'm just, yeah, using this for fun. Also important, the dude can't attack. Here, like the fish that I summon off of this. So I actually had to keep extending here to accrue the damage. Going to be going second here, unfortunately. However, we do have a Lancia and we do have a Talon. So we're going to fire the Lancia with the quickness here so they can't use the Misk to actually summon someone from the deck. And then we're going to watch as they do Overraptor, add the baby, pop some stuff, do a bunch of shenanigans here. And I'm going to fast forward here real quick. All right, and now it's back to our turn. So we're going to draw another Lancia for turn, which is not good because it's only during our opponent's turn. And so we've got the Lars here, which will detach 2 materials, but it's only 1 because they only have dinosaurs. So they can actually use this twice. This will negate face-up cards. And here they can twice negate monster effects and destroy the monsters. Plus potentially 2 cards in their hand that we don't know about yet. So I'm going to lead with the Neptibus and get ashed on it actually, which is really annoying. It's going to be 5 disruptions already. So activate the Dragoons, which is going to get negated here. However, now Talons is live. Now you have to think about it. If we want to see, if we want to use the Talons here early, which is going to just guaranteed get a Lars negate, or if we want to try to actually resolve this. And I think we're strong enough here that we don't actually need the Talons. So they're going to pop the Poseidra here, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess it doesn't really matter since Neptibus gets to just bring it right back. And they have no more monster negates. And we're just going to... Yeah, I don't know why I didn't target the Lars here, huh? Maybe I misclicked it. Yeah, I definitely should have been bouncing the Lars. I don't know what I was doing here. Doesn't really matter. They're out of stuff. Abyss Shrine brings out Coelacanth. We have a worthless card we can pitch here. And I mean, at that point, it's just all she wrote. We just get to go for all the combo stuff here. Grab some more advantage. Bunch of cards to our hand for free, going super plus again. And we can just bounce them all with our rank 7 and win for free. And for our final replay, it's going to be a quick one. You can see the hand is already pretty saucy. 1-for-1 pitching the dead Fulos. They're going to ash this. I kind of need it to resolve though, so we're going to fire off the cross out designator. And beginner's mistake here. They're using the Maxi. I get to resolve my Ash Blossom here to negate the Maxi. And then I still negate their Ash. If they waited for the 1-for-1 to resolve, they would have gotten 1 draw less, potentially. But this way, they have actually 0 draws. Now we also get to just use Talons, check their hand. It's not that good. It's really not that good. And Neptibus just gets to resolve into full combo. Adding the Goons to hand, swimming out the Abyss Pike. And there's really nothing they can do at this point. We just completely sack them. I intentionally don't get rid of the Ankh because I'm thinking about doing a line that gets me to the Molten Glacier here, which I get to add right here. We have exactly 5 waters in grave after we link these off and revive one more guy. That's gonna make sure we pitch the Ankh and the Dork Magician. And now they just got hand loop for 5, and we get to do our full combo. So very convenient. I very much dislike the Millennium deck, especially in all the events which just floodgate me. So this felt pretty great. Last but not least, here's the deck list. If you guys wanted to see it, this is on an older ban list. So Call by the Grave is now at 1. You can play 2 Droll then and cut this back down, but I think you should also definitely look at replacing the Lancia with something else. Maybe add more Fuelos or Perulias to the deck. Maybe add some more Impulses. It's all a matter of preference, more or less. All right, hope you guys enjoy. See ya.